Hello, 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 welcome, welcome. Today we are following round 4 of Grand Chess Tour Superbet Rapid and Blitz, currently going on in the Poland. Let's check the Magnus's game. It is Magnus versus Kirill. Kirill is on 6 out of 6. He had 100% score because he won all the games yesterday. They are against Gukesh, against Prague, and third game is against Vincent. And now Kirill is facing Magnus Carlsen with white pieces. Let's see from the opening. Kirill plays d4, d5, c4, e6, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7, bishop f4, castle, e3, c5, takes, c takes d, knight takes, e takes. So now black has isolated queen pawn. Bishop d3, check. Knight blocks the check. Knight c6, castles. Bishop e7 back. Rook c1, bishop f6. So this is the current position. White has sacrificed this pawn. Or what? If bishop captures this, then bishop takes, h7 check, king takes, then this check, and this wins the bishop. So this pawn is not hanging. This pawn is indirectly defended. If black takes, then white takes the h7. King takes, and this is a check. So what Kirill has played? Kirill played a3. So now Magnus is thinking. Both have almost equal time. 22 minutes for Kirill, 20 minutes for Magnus. Magnus has 4 points. Magnus drew 2 games yesterday and won 1 game. 1 game against Wei. And Magnus drew against Arjun and another player. Let's check the results. Magnus drew with Duda and Arjun and won against Wei. Okay, fine. Let's check another game. It is Nodirbek versus Vincent. Let's see from the opening. Knight f3, knight f6, c4, e6, English opening, g3, d5, bishop g2, d4, e3, c5, d3, knight c6, castle, h6, knight a3, e5, e takes d4, bishop f4, bishop e7, now knight e5. This is an interesting idea to jump knight b5 to capture this, but after castle there is not much white can do. Okay, so Nodirbek plays knight e5, knight takes, bishop takes, castle, rook e1, a6, and bishop knight c2. Knight has no square. Where this knight is heading toward. This bishop cannot develop because this bishop is constantly putting pressure on this pawn, and rook cannot defend because the bishop eyeing on the b8 square. So little difficult position for black. The black can play knight g4, which pushes the bishop back, bishop f4 and g5, which removes this bishop from this active diagonal. After g5, bishop has to retreat to d2. Yes. Let's see another game. It is Gukesh versus Prag. Gukesh lost 2 games yesterday and drew with Anish Giri. Gukesh lost to Kirill and also to Nodirbek. And today he is playing with Pragnananda. Pragnananda has 3 points. He lost 1 game, he drew 1 and he won 1. I think. Yes, okay. Pragnananda lost against Kirill yesterday. He won against Nodirbek and drew against Duda. So today it is all Indian clash, Gukesh versus Prag. Let's see from the start. Knight f3, knight f6, b3, g6, bishop b2, bishop g7, g3, b6, bishop g2, bishop b7, castle, castle, e3, c5, d4, c takes, d5, knight b2, d2, knight c6, rook e1, knight e5 is a move. Okay, rook e1, rook c8, rook c1, a4 is played, rook e8, now knight e5, rook c8, knight d2 f3, a5. Position is currently equal. Let's see what happens. Arjun versus Duda. Wow, so many games opened today with ready opening. Knight f3, knight f6, c4, e6, g3, d5, b5, b3, c takes, pawn takes, bishop b7, bishop b2, bishop e7, rook c1, knight b4, knight e5, bishop takes, king takes. This is almost equal position, slight edge for black, not much. This is because white has 6 pawns and black has 7 pawns. Okay, last game remaining is Anish Giri versus Wei. Anish opened with d4 Knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5. Queen's gambit declined. g3, Catalan. Bishop b4 check. Bishop d2, bishop e7, g2, castle, castle, knight b2, d7, queen c2, c6, bishop f4, a5, rook d1, a4, a3, knight jumps to e4, knight c3, knight takes, queen takes, g5, bishop back to d2, f5, queen c1, g4 is the move to play. It is equal. White has a slight edge, has 0.6 advantage, not much. What are the ideas here? If g4 is played, knight e5. If knight takes, pawn takes, bishop d7 and bishop h6. Okay, this is how game will continue. Rook f7, queen e3, b5, c takes, c takes, bishop to f8, bishop takes, queen takes, rook c7. Wow, this is advantage for white, almost winning. Sorry. Rook to g7, queen b6, queen can take this. If let's say black plays this, then does it work? No, it doesn't work. Bishop c8, queen b5, capturing the pawn. Okay, let's see what Anish played. Anish goes back, knight e1. He don't want to go forward. Can go to knight e5. Okay, let's see what are the interesting developments anywhere. All games are equal till now. Let's see Kirill versus Magnus. Two leaders, currently two leaders of the Rapid and Blitz tournament. Prague has a slight edge over Bukesh. Knight takes knight, rook takes, bishop back. Bishop f1, rook c8, h4. h4 is a move. Bukesh played bishop c1, knight e4, bishop back to b2. Engine suggests go back, but wait. Bukesh goes forward, bishop f4, and there is a slight edge for black. What are the moves here? F c4, d takes, b takes, e5, bishop e3, e takes, queen takes, knight c5, queen takes, rook takes. This is slicing over this diagonal, but bishop g2, f5, rook a2. See, this is the way to go. Let's see what they have played. g5, directly g5 is played. Bishop goes back. Now f5 played. Okay. This move is marked as a question mark. Knight can go to e5. Okay. What if bishop takes? This is slightly better for white, but why? Ah, so there are lots of dark square weaknesses in the black's camp. This is why. This is why it is showing slight edge for white. So Bukesh can actually jump to e5, knight e5. Black cannot take this, but black can play rook f8. Bishop h3, inviting g4. This pawn is hanging. This is the way to go. Bukesh is thinking can jump to e5 square, rook f8 and bishop h3, provoking g4. Knight can move and knight d6 and now bishop d3. This line is also playable with f3. So Bukesh is thinking right now Arjun has actually three black games in 4 rounds. He is playing with black pieces against Ruda today. Yes, Mukesh finds it. Knight e5. All games are equal. Wei versus Giri has fireworks. The white bishop is land on h6. And there is no pathway to go back. So if black plays this, bishop takes, queen takes, bishop f1. Why this is better for white? Knight a5, rook b1, knight b3, queen c3, queen d8. This pieces looks dangerous, but there are enough pieces around the white king to protect. So it is not as dangerous as it looks. After e3, e5 was played. D takes, knight takes, bishop f4, bishop f6, x-raying this pawn, bishop takes, knight a3, bishop g7, knight f4, rook a5. All pawns are on dark squares. So it is reasonable to trade off this bishop for this knight. And the position is relatively closed. Instead of taking, Anish plays bishop f1. He immediately goes for the knight and knight retreat back. Queen c2 or this fork is coming. So either this okay, so this is Anyway, white is losing the rook. So why not to give the rook here and trade this pawn? At least we are up a pawn. Okay. Engine is suggesting to give up an exchange. Because anyway, rook will be lost if you save it somehow. Mukesh versus Prag. Bishop h3 is a move to find, but it is difficult. Sacrificing full piece. But knight is also attacked, no? So it is findable, I think. Now f into e4, f into e3, rook f, queen h6, queen g4. Bishop takes, check. Queen takes, check. Bishop c8. Wow. This is a difficult line, difficult line. Mukesh goes back with bishop c1. Now this is somewhat winning for black. After knight c5 and queen d4. These pawns are very weak. The shelter of white king is destroyed. The time management is improved by Mukesh. Prag missed it. Prag did not find bishop takes and pawn takes, but instead he played a double attack here and here. So now if bishop h3, bishop takes, first give a check, bishop c8, queen c8 and f into e4 first, f3, rook f1, queen h3. What? Rook takes, rook takes. Do not take here, but take here. Wow. Complicated line. Queen c1. The best move here is not this, but this. Bishop takes, check, 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 check. This is safe for white. White has two rooks, but black has so many pawns and bishop. Three pawns and bishop for two rooks. So it is equal but difficult to hold on. This is lost. If white captures this, then this is lost. The only move to stay in the game is bishop takes rook. And to see that this check does not leads to checkmate. This is a checkmate here. So queen t2. Let's see what will Gukesh play. If can Gukesh find it? Bishop, no. Black has sacrificed the piece, but it is better for black, slightly better. Meanwhile, Vincent is winning against Nodirbeck. Let's go there. So it is equal, but in the one move blunder, it is lost. This is how game will continue. Instead of knight b4, it is also playable. Engine suggests queen c3, rook e to d1, now this pawn falls. So it is a simpler line than the previous one, what we have seen. What Gukesh is winning? How Gukesh is winning? What has happened here? F takes, G takes, King H1. Wow, what a find! What a find by Gukesh. And Rook F2. Apparently this is a mistake. To capture this and this, which is threatening a discovered attack. E3 check. King takes. The rook has to sacrifice itself. C4. Wow. Okay. When E3. Nah. This is lost. King must take it. Wow. This is very dangerous, man. Look at the pieces. Black has two extra pawns and black should be winning here. But after rook f2, queen g4 is found by Kukesh. Back to back two best moves. Queen g4. Yes. Now if bishop takes, then queen e6. Check. If king goes here, then this is, or here. This is protected by bishop, so king cannot go there. Bishop takes. Now Mukesh must find queen. This is whole idea of playing queen g4 to give a check here. Queen f7. Trade the queen. And all the danger is gone almost. e6 check. If king takes, but bishop has to take back, no? And now rook f1. This should be winning for white. White is upper rook almost. Gukesh should find this. This capture, 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 capture. Yes, he found it. He found it. Queen into e6 check. If rook blocks, then this is nothing. Nothing is moving. The bishops are too strong. What? King h8 was played. Now just take this. Or not. Yes. Take the bishop. White is a full piece. Take, take, take and take. And now just block this pawn. This wall is formed by pawn and the bishop, so black king cannot approach this pawn. So this is a blunder. Now just play here. Queen takes bishop. Exchange the queens. This is the whole idea. If you keep the queens on the board, then it is dangerous for white king, because queen can jump here and quickly it can give checkmate. So it is very important to trade this queen. Can Mukesh find it? Yes, yes. He found it, found it. Now just play rook e3 and block this pawn. Rook e3 and block this pawn. There is no way that, let's say this, Rook takes, e takes, bishop d3, check. Okay. Rook cannot go here, but okay. This is also defended. So all things is under control. Mukesh needs to find this. Rook e3. Which prevents this discovered check. I think it is only move. Yes, he found it. Because all the moves are only moves and he found it. This is because the great time management in this game. Usually yesterday all three games Mukesh was down on time in the middle game only. And for last few moves he had a barely 1 minute on the clock. And all sort of blunders are happening in the time trouble. So black can take this, but this is no danger for white. Okay, this pawn is too fast. This pawn is too fast. White is up a full rook. How can't he win? Frog is below 19 seconds, 16 seconds, 14 seconds. Now frog is down a time. Mukesh has tremendously increased. Just push the pawn. No need to worry about this. But these moves are played so quickly. Rook e1. Play rook e1. Keep all the pieces on dark square so there is no discovery anywhere. Anywhere around the diagonal when white can lose the piece. Mukesh has to find rook e1. If he doesn't find it, then next move is rook f1 and this is a queen. So Mukesh must find it. Rook e1. Can he find it? Will he able to find it? All other games are absolute equal position. Okay. The Noderbeck-Vincent game is concluded into a draw. Let's check this. They agreed to a draw. Here white has two rooks and black has queen and knight. So after the a6 blunder, Vincent failed to convert this into a winning endgame. Rook takes d2 is huge mistake. Why not just go here? So this is some miscalculation by Vincent, but it is only a draw because of this pass pawn, which is protected by two rooks. Okay, back to Gukesh's game. Yes, Gukesh has found rook e1, bishop d5 check. Yes, go up, king g3, good move. Now rook has one square only, g4 check, king h4, now e6. There is no checkmate. But if bishop, what? Aha, the rook is hanging. Okay. So play e6, g4 check, king h4, bishop e6. Now rook e3. You have to save the bishop, bishop d7, rook e1 into e2. So finally we have eliminated one pass pawn. Now two is remaining. But white is completely winning here. Completely winning. And Gukesh should be able to convert this. Now Gukesh down to 2 minutes. Now it is a blunderous territory. This is also playable. Now play e6. Push the pawn. There is no checkmate because the rook is defended by bishop. And if bishop gives a check from another diagonal, then the rook is hanging. So there is no checkmate. Even if black pushes g4, king h4. Just push the pawn. But why? Now rook g4. Now this is blunderous territory. Break down to 30 seconds. There is a huge development in two games. Duda is significantly better against Arjun and Wei is better against Anish. Now rook 1 into e2. Bishop e6 and king h2. King g7, rook d3. Keep your king on opposite color of opponent's bishop. So if opponent has a light square bishop, try to keep all the pieces on the dark squares. Yes, Prague has resigned the game and Gukesh won his first game in Superbet Rapid and Blitz tournament. Gukesh won against Prague. Amazing stuff. Amazing, amazing. It is very nice to see the time management of this game by Gukesh. Brilliant time management. So finally understood that it is playable to have and slightly less advantageous position in the middle game, but it gives a huge chances to win if you have a more time than the opponent in the end game or the end phase of the game. So this is the strategy of winning these rapid and blitz games. Correctly demonstrated by Gukesh, when critical time arises, he found all these brilliant moves one after another. He found four best moves. The credit goes to his time management, nothing else. Because he is able to calculate all this stuff. But provided you have enough time. And meanwhile, Duda also won against Arjun. What happened here, man? What happened? Let's see. H6 is a mistake. Rook H4, Rook F6, King G1, Queen E8, F4, Rook E6, F5, Rook F6, Knight, King H8, Knight E6, check, Queen E4 back, check, check, and there is no more check. There is no more check, and it is mate in 12. Beatrix. Ah, this is the reason. Pushing the pawn to h6 is a huge mistake. Huge, huge mistake. Here, just push the pawn. Now, what is the difference? difficult to find out. Arjun lost his first game in this tournament. How Wei won the game against Anish. Oh, there are lots of mistakes from the both sides. C5. Anish is significantly better from the opening. When chance just take the rook, no, but black decided to take this pawn instead. Interesting stuff. Here also very much better. Anish is almost winning advantage. This is huge mistake. H takes, rook g4. Queen f1. King g1. Move out of the pin. This is a checkmate. Queen h2 is checkmate. So Wei checkmated Anish Giri. The games are lost today are by Arjun Arigaisi, Pragnananda and Anish Giri. The games won by Jan Christoph Duda